Hey guys, my name is Alicia. I'm a business coach for massage therapists and I teach therapists how to become fully booked without burnout. One of the questions I get asked all the time is how do I do corporate massage? How do I take, the free time I've got and take it into that marketplace because I know it's a great way to build rapport, to build my business, but I'm not sure the steps to take. So I'm really excited to have Andrew Ward come in. We've invited him onto a webinar. He's going to teach what he knows about doing corporate massage. Now, Andrew in his business has been able to capture 5% of the entire market of corporate massage here in Australia. So he really, really knows this stuff. And I'm really excited that he's been able to come on board and he's going to share his knowledge to deliver what he knows, what the systems, the steps that he's been able to take in his business where they've performed 5 million corporate massages in 15 years. Woohoo! Go Andrew. So really excited. I can't wait to have you guys on there and we look forward to seeing you on the training.
Awesome stuff. So Andrew has heading up corporate massage for 15 years now, I think it is, and has been able to instrumentally involved in having or performing 5 million massages, corporate massages, which is pretty darn awesome. So absolutely an expert in this stuff. Super, super pumped to be able to hear what you've got to share. And also has about 5% of the corporate market in Australia of the market share. So that's just absolutely amazing and phenomenal. So rock on, Andrew, for setting all that up. That is just awesome stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to let you take over and hopefully you can jump on the screen and show the PowerPoint. Is that how this works?
Yeah, I think so. I hope everyone can hear me. Show my screen. Yes. Bear with me. I'm just going to pull up. I'm using old style formats for things as well. I've got to move my GoToWebinar to present. So I'll start at the beginning. Bear with me. So when we're talking today, it's about corporate massage, and I guess I'm talking with a lot of massage therapists and practitioners, and I guess you need and deserve to know who I am. I'm not a graphic designer, as you'll see from this presentation. In fact, I'm not a massage therapist. I don't have qualifications. However, I've been intimately involved with the massage industry for the last 15 years, and actually not having come through massage schools and has given me a different, I guess, insight into the massage industry. I bring other skills and apply them to the massage industry, which means that my businesses in massages have been quite pioneering. The longest standing of those businesses is 3 Minute Angels, which Alicia mentioned. We've done in the last 15 years nearly up to 5 million massages, most of them in corporate and event environments. So if we're here to talk about how corporate massage can explode your business, the first thing to understand is that corporate massage, as it applies to going in and massaging employees within a larger organisation, that's only a small fraction of the marketplace. So if you're a therapist and you're giving massages to people who come into your clinic or into your home or spa or whatever your particular circumstance is, the person who's buying the massage is the consumer of the massage, and we call that sort of work business to consumer, or B2C. In the case of B2B services, it's not just corporate massage massaging the employees. There is that's office massage, but you're also sometimes massaging their other stakeholders in a corporate hospitality sense. Often corporations outside of their team will have people who've got interests in doing triathlons, marathons, runnings, Tough Mudders, other events, and you will find yourself at sports days, triathlons, marathons, running events, those sorts of things, city to surf, city to bay. You will also get people in the B2B environment who are buying individual massages, either for executives who are highly stressed, and often you'll get these for staff employees that reach milestones. So we're often used instead of, say, a Red Balloon Days gift certificate, a month reward that you're doing on behalf of that business or on behalf of their brand to their stakeholders. So we find ourselves doing lots of promotions, trade shows, conferences. In trade shows and conferences, they're often spending $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 to have a booth at a trade show that's relevant to their industry, but they need people to come to that booth, and then they expend a few $100s using massage as an attractant that will keep people at their booth for 5 minutes so that they can interact with their brand, capture their details, and be able to do follow-up work with people in their industry. As I've mentioned, we're used internally for Employee of the Month gifts, but we're also used frequently as incentives for channel partners or sales goals. And, you know, more than one radio station has employed us over the time to go around and give massages to all the marketing organisations, knowing that if the marketing organisations get a massage and feel good in that environment, they'll remember 2UE when spending a client's budget, or they'll remember Smooth FM. So I just want to be clear that corporate massage, as most people know it, going into offices and giving the employees massages, that's probably 60% of the 3 Minute Angels business. A further 40% of the business is working in these events, trade shows, promotions, and as gifts and rewards and feel-good add-ons. So let's talk about massage, as this is something that we're all familiar with. Massage has got a lot of breakdowns. There's massage done in the home, mobile massage therapy. There's massage done in spas, which is usually related to relaxation. There's massage done in practices and clinics, which is usually related to rehabilitation and fixing people. Massage is actually quite a diverse industry, yet one of the common things about all massage therapists that I've come across is their belief that they're in the health industry, and it's a valid belief, because when you look at what people give as reasons for getting their last massage, half of the people that get massages, it is for medical reasons, to recover from an injury, to manage their pain. Only 10% of it is the luxury end of the massage market, where people are doing it just because it feels good. Personally, I'd like to see that expand, but a further 33%, or a third of the massages, are done for relaxation and stress reduction, and that's probably one of the primary drivers within a business-to-business context. It's more about pampering, indulgence, making someone feel good, their relaxation and their stress reduction, than it is about treating them for health reasons. So when you understand that the B2B market treats the health benefits of massage as a given, you quickly realize that actually from the customer's perspective, you're in the service industry, not in the massage industry. And there's a few golden rules around selling any service business. Please don't think this is my wisdom. I am paraphrasing here, but there are 3 things to a service. You can be good, you can be cheap, you can be fast. You will never be good, cheap and fast. So depending on the sort of massage product that you offer, you need to pick 2. So being fast and good means you don't have to be cheap. Being fast and cheap means you're probably not going to be using the highest qualified, most expensive delivery services. You're going to be cheap, or going to be not so good, and good and cheap. So you can choose 2 and only 2, and then once you've got your service mentality on, then you're able to go into the corporate massage. So there's 3 things that I hope you'll get out of this webinar. 1 is how to get corporate clients. 2 is what will those corporate clients expect. And 3, how do you make that transition from massaging in the office to getting people on the table who are direct clients of yours who may well be there for health reasons. So the first thing I need to clarify with you is that B2B massage is rarely, if ever, determined by the HR department, even though I think a lot of people think that it's human resources that books corporate massage. That hasn't been my experience. I'll give you an example. Commonwealth Bank is one of our clients, and we've never had a booking from Commonwealth Bank's Human Resources Department, but we've got 65 departments of Commonwealth Bank who book us independently. And there's never been a call for HR to centralise those budgets and potentially bring their price down, because the way that many businesses operate today is that larger ones at least, is that they separate into functional business units, and then they keep some functions internal and provide those services to each of the business units. So one of the internal functions, accounting, is often held at an internal level, HR, sometimes IT, and then each department tends to operate as a standalone business unit. So HR usually has budgets for things like compliance, policy, procedures, but not actually about making people feel better in the workplace, feeling more engaged with their direct team. What we generally find is that B2B massage is purchased by people, and they're at the department level, not the HR level. We would often be speaking with the business unit manager, so if they're in charge of the IT department for ComSec, which is a part of Commonwealth Bank, then we will hear from that business unit manager. Sometimes business unit managers will have EAs or PAs, and we will hear from them. Other times we might hear from a sales manager who's keen to incentivise their channel or reward the sales team and the sales reps who've just hit a milestone. We will often get called by the call centre manager who recognises that there's been a lot of overtime lately, or that there's been a high call volume and that there's been increased stress, and they'll try and use a non-financial incentive like massage to manage that situation. Now, the most prevalent, there's also people in social committees for larger organisations who kind of get charged with looking after morale in a company. We often find that it's personality rather than position that determines who books us, and the personality type that you're looking for is somebody who's like a mother hen figure. They take new people into the team under their wing voluntarily at lunchtime and say welcome and where do you live and tell us a bit about you. They've probably been in that functional unit or department for a while now. They've got what we call soft power within the organisation. They may not be the decision maker, but if you're in that office, you know that Mary knows how to get the money for the biscuits for the biscuit tin, or Mary knows how to get massages in for the end of month reward. So let's talk about some strategies that I've seen work. You can ask your clients after their last treatment, do they get a massage at work? And if they do or don't, then you need to be able to follow that up. Put a business card drawer on your reception desk, and anybody who puts a business card in, or any of your clients who you receive who you give a massage to, make sure that they go onto your database. If you don't already, make sure you've got a newsletter, and in that newsletter don't just talk about your point of difference in your practice or your clinic or your mobile practice as it relates to treating individuals. Talk about how it works in the workplace and what a difference you can make. And what we've found is that for every 10 businesses that you've got, only one of them will become a recurring or a regular client. So only 1 in 10 of them will probably go to getting fortnightly or monthly massages. 9 out of 10 of your corporate clients will book you in an ad hoc fashion because something has triggered the need for massage. Maybe, as I've described before, it's a increased workload that has been put on the department, and people have decided to recognise that and reward the hard work with massage. Maybe it'll be triggered by you know, a bit of budget that hasn't been spent in some other part of the engagement process, or the wellness budget, or the OH&S budget, or a saving that has come about. But if you go and give 10 local businesses a free trial of your short format massage services, one of them will definitely stick. If you're really good, you should be able to get more of them to stick. When you do get a business client, you've got to be able to ask for referrals. Now, some of the best ways to ask for referrals is to offer your services as a gift to give to one of their best clients or one of their best suppliers when that client or supplier does something that they want to reward. Also, go to networking events within your local area and offer your massages or the massage within the workplace as a door prize for the organiser of that networking event. Get the email addresses from that networking event, add it to your database, and keep sending out your regular emails. Now, the last of these strategies for getting corporate clients is massagepricer.com. I like this website. It enables businesses like mine at 3 Minute Angels to subcontract work. If you win a piece of business that you can't service on your own, it's a way for you to subcontract work. Massage Pricer is kind of distributed to procurement professionals and uses Google AdWords, and people come onto that site within departments usually looking for massage providers in their local area that can give them the best price or the best deal for their particular scenario, whether that's 6 people in an office on a weekly basis or 600 people in an office on an annual basis. Either way, they're creating a brief. It gets pushed out to the supply network. Everyone's got 60 minutes to put in a quote, and the quotes go back to the clients. Massage Pricer is new, but we've found this to be pretty handy, and it doesn't cost anything to the customer and it doesn't cost anything to the supplier. One of the best things and the most beautiful things about massage is that people love it as a product. There are a lot of stress and negative situations that people encounter in the workplace. Massage is often, when we deliver massages, people will turn around and say thank you, and they genuinely mean it. It's one of our greatest selling points to our staff is that when you work in the massage business or making people feel better, people tend to say thank you. When you work in the service industry, you know, on a call center job or you know, any other work, retail, very seldom do people say thank you, and very seldom do they mean it. But we'll often have 10 people an hour based on the fact that an angel does 10 5-minute massages an hour, and they'll all say thank you, and 99% of them mean it, and some of them say it was the best thing that happened to them all week, and it probably was. So massages is a great tool for selling massages. Before I go into the cross-sale part, let's talk about what do corporate or B2B clients expect. So at a base level, their assumption when dealing with a service provider, remember you can pick 2 of the 3 things, is that you'll be easy to work with and that you'll be competent. If they're looking to get massagers in their workplace, they already know that massagers feel good. They treat the health benefits of massage as inherent, and therefore promoting massage for health benefits alone when you're a service provider is like advertising the quality of water as being wet, as opposed to what does work, which is you advertise the fact that the water comes from Fiji water or Mount Franklin water or Evian water, wherever. You don't just say water's wet and it's hydrating. That doesn't sell. And you don't say massage is good and it's healthy. That doesn't sell. You need to do more than that. Workplaces come in all sorts of corporate attire. So you've got the suit, white-collar workers, you've got smart casual workers, trendy workers, blue-collar workers. But one thing that I know is that you can't send a staff member in that isn't as professionally groomed as the organisation that you're massaging. So if you're in a white-collar kind of law firm or finance firm office environment and you send in somebody that looks like they've just crawled out of the garbage bin, it's terrible. You're far better to be over-presented than under-presented when you go into a B2B client. The other thing that is different for B2B clients than you will get with an individual client is that because you're putting hands on staff, there's concerns there around liability and risk, and you will need to have proper processes. So you'll have to generate that business and invoice. You'll have to have determined your payment terms. We take payment in advance of delivering services, and some people I know take payment 7 days, 14 days, immediately payable afterwards. If you're not careful, large companies particularly will put you on 45-day payment terms, and that can really hurt your cash flow, particularly if you grow and you've got to pay subcontractors or employees. Service level agreements, so what's your deal with cancellations or change of locations or extensions on bookings? Have these articulated. And apart from treatment risk, which you'll need as a therapist to provide like therapeutic massage, when you're doing corporate massage or event massage, you'll also need public liability insurance, and the sort of standard public liability insurance these days also comes with products liability, and you need $10 to $20 million of coverage to make most of the clients happy. I can tell you from 15 years of experience in 5 million massages that insurance is the cost of doing business, but it will never cover you, and it never gets exercised. We've not had a cause to use our public liability or products liability in the whole time that we've been going, because people love massage, and if you're not trying to treat somebody in the 5, 10 or 15 minutes that you're doing a short massage, there's very little chance that you will injure them. Alright, so these are the things that you need to do and are assumed in order to do corporate massage. But in order to raise the return from 1 in 10 of your clients being recurring work, or to get bigger clients and better clients, you've got to demonstrate your value. So one of the best ways of doing this is by making tangible the difference that you have made to the person that you've given a massage. We do this very simply. So before we've gathered informed consent, we ask somebody how they feel. And then at the end of the 5-minute process or 10-minute process or 15-minute process, we ask them how they feel again. And the difference in that before and after is really important. It makes tangible the benefit of the massage. So if you're looking at this graph, you can see that the red is the before score and the blue is the after score. and that most people are feeling towards the left-hand side of this from very stressed and okay before the massage, and after the massage they're feeling okay to very happy to divine. And if you're able to, as a person who has purchased massage, maybe you've received one of the 5-minute massages, but most of the massages have been experienced by your other colleagues. You want to know whether it was a worthwhile expense getting everybody massages compared to getting them a stress ball or taking them out to the pub for lunch. These are other things they could be spending their money with. And if you don't tell them what a job you've done with each recipient, they're not going to go out and actively look for that feedback themselves. Some of our clients use this data to work out, on an individual basis, are there people that have been reporting being very stressed all the time? Are there people that are reporting being happy before the massage? And are those people that are typically telling their boss that they are happy or are stressed? Often people will be more transparent with their angel or their therapist than they will be with their boss. So we're now at the really interesting point of doing office massages or corporate and event massages, and that is that it's very hard, at least I've never found a particularly good way of selling massages which are a tactile product which a person experiences and they get a rush from, and they have the oxytocin and the endorphins and the serotonins and the good drugs going off in their brain. It's really hard to elicit that sort of feeling in a customer from a Facebook ad or from a piece of paper. And so I've found and we've found that about 4% or 1 in every 25 of the short massages we give converts into a long massage. The best way to sell your table massages is by giving these paid 4 5-minute neck and shoulder massages and knowing that after 5 minutes somebody's going, that feels great. Leave them wanting more and they'll come to you. So the question then becomes as a business development question for your practice, for your business. How should I grow? Should I be putting up a chalkboard? Should I be advertising on Facebook or on my flyers? And the answer is probably, corporate lends itself better than any others, because the business is paying you to give their employees a massage, and then you know that at least 1 in 25 of those employees is going to become a customer of yours on the table and pay you directly. So you can continue to do that. Now, if you start to fill up in your practice and you can't continue to deal with the corporate massage because you've got so many full-body clients, well, that's all right. One of the things you can do is team up with your local education institutions, get the students that aren't yet qualified to go out and work in doing the shorter massage that doesn't require treatments and therefore doesn't have treatment risk, and get them to do prospecting for you whilst generating your income. These are some of the things we do, and we find it would be even more useful to people with qualifications like yourselves. So how do we get that person who's in their workplace into our spa and clinic or into our business for full body massages? Well, the idea is after we've asked them initially how do they feel when we've come to give that recipient a massage, the next thing we try and get is informed consent. So we want to know if they have any injuries, and if they do, what sort. We want to know their name, and we want to know that they've said it's okay to put our hands on their body. And in order to do that, we need a unique identifier that says that it was them that said it was okay to put their hands on their body. And what's something that they know that we don't know? Well, usually that's an email address or a mobile phone number, and the client enters that email address as their consent, and then you progress through with the massage. At the end of the massage, you've asked them how they felt, and voila, you've got a before and after. You can then give them an invoice. This is an example from a mobile phone, but the idea is the same whether you're sending them a receipt as an email or a receipt as a text. You're basically showing them the before, the after, and giving them instructions to the next sale. So we're 3 Minute Angels. We want our customers to go through Get Angels Now, enter in a VIP code, and get 10% off their first booking. As a full body customer, you're not 3 Minute Angels. You'll have a different booking system possibly to Get Angels Now. So you might have MindBody Online or Clinico or any number of booking systems, and you'll want to be at the end of every one of your 5, 10, 15-minute massages that you're giving to these employees, getting their contact details and then sending them an instruction on how to book you. They've already just had a 5-minute neck and shoulder massage from you. They've probably loved it. That is the best time to cross-sell. If you try and get them excited 24 hours later, 48 hours later, 72 hours later, you're going to have less and less chance of converting. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. So there's a few things that you could take as paths from here. You could work with us. I'd invite you to get in touch with Gladys, who looks after our platforms. You could join Massage Pricer as a supplier on that website. That's free. You could join Get Angels Now, which is one of our other businesses. That's free. If you would like to work with me more directly, then that'll be priced when I talk with you if you want. But you don't have to work with us. You can do it yourself. This is what we were using previous to iPads that we took out into the field with each of our angels. And you just need to be able to capture the person's name. We were capturing gender at this point, male or female, but that's not that useful. Get them to put in their email address or a contact ID as consent. Get them to mark with, we call this a mood scale, an A before they get their massage and a B. And then I guarantee you, if you give 20 people the massage in that office and then you take to the person who organised it the columns of A's and B's and the difference that you have made, you will be providing a service to them and information to that hirer that they will really value, and that's what will get you rebooked, and that's what will get you your next booking. I'm pretty well done here in terms of my presentation. I guess I'll flip it over to you guys and ask if there's any questions, or flip it back to Alicia at this point.
Yeah, rock on. That was awesome stuff. So we've got Emily, Emmanuel, Jennifer, Joanna, Callie, Louise, Octavia, Rosie and Stuart. Do you guys have any questions? Because we'd love to be able to answer them. So in your control panel of GoToWebinar, you'll see a questions box. So if you wanted to, I'll jump back to, jump back to that so you can see something. Pop in the questions box if you guys have got questions. We would love to be able to share them with you and put them in there. So by all means, type them into that box. If you look into the like I said, the control panel of GoToWebinar, awesome bunch of people on the call today, and more than happy to answer them. Octavia says that was fantastic, so inspiring. Woohoo! Rock on, go Andrew, that's cool. And so if you guys have got any questions, just feel free to pop them in there. If you're ready to rock, if you're like, yep, that's just so cool, make sure that you pop that in there as well. Now, of course, we have done a fabulous recording. So for those of you playing at home, you get to, who weren't able to make it, obviously we'll be able, or have just jumped on, we'll also be able to help you out. So that's cool. Kate, I'm glad you're able to get here. So yeah, Okay, so yeah, Kelly says awesome info. Not sure that it would work with Bowen, and that's probably true. It is probably more of a training system. All right, cool. So Joanna says thanks for the presentation. I'm meeting a corporate prospect next week. What should I bring to help sell my services? Awesome stuff. So Andrew, if you want to jump back in, feel free to answer that. And Rosie says great webinar. Thanks. Just one question. What do you say when client says, can you check this sore area while massaging? Cool. So maybe start with Joanna's question. Andrew, can I just check, can you see these questions coming up on the control panel?
No, I can't.
All right.
But
So I'll just read it out again. It's so Joanna says, thanks for the presentation. Yay that. Meeting a corporate prospect next week. What should I bring to help sell my services?
So if you've decided that you're going to do a 5-minute or a 10-minute or a short service, you should be prepared to do that when you're talking to them. I think I've had a slide in there, but it should be the mantra. Nothing sells massage better than massage. So whoever's going to be the corporate decision maker, like honestly, I sold Diners Club on a $40,000 promotion because the people that I met with, I gave them a 5-minute massage at the start and then said, let's sit down and have a chat. And then they were like, oh, okay, so that's what we're giving to our customers or the employees in other cases. Yep, let's do it. And I think you will also need to have, terms of service. Do you clarify? Do you want to get paid in advance? How do you get paid? Like, I would recommend that you don't get the employees to contribute or co-contribute. You make the employer pay. Once you start getting into contribution and co-contribution, it becomes much more administratively difficult and for not much additional value. You should have some guarantees. One of the awesome things about massage is that almost everybody loves it, and therefore offering a satisfaction guarantee is really important. I mentioned to you that in conferences and trade shows, they're sometimes spending 5, 10, 15 grand to be there, and they're only spending $1,000 on you being there for 2 days. But that $1,000 is there to make sure that the rest of the investment in space and time and resources goes well. So we started to offer 110% satisfaction back in 2004 because we realized that, so few people claim on it, but you can then have a dialogue with them about why it's important that we turn up on time, that we're professional, that we do the massages that we do, because often they've spent a lot more money on surrounding things and the massage is the most visible or tangible part of that experience. Think of a pamper zone at the Melbourne Cup. They've spent $40,000 or $50,000 getting a marquee to bring their best clients. On the day, that 5-minute massage can be the thing that client will remember about the marquee.
Yeah, it's experience.
And yeah, so, put on your guarantees, put on your terms of service, put on your payment terms, but be prepared to give a 5-minute massage. If you can't do a 5-minute massage, bring one of your staff or friends who can, and look professional, look like you will be looking when you go to give them the massage. That may mean that you're in your uniform. That's fine.
I really liked what you said about matching the environment you're going into. So if you're going into a blue collar area, match that. But if you're going into a white collar area, look better than they do. So that you want to have that level of professionalism that they're like, wow, we weren't expecting that from massage people. And just that contrast between what the perception sometimes that massage therapists can have. So very cool. That's awesome.
If you want, I can riff on that for a bit, right? So my most embarrassing complaints are when I've got therapists, who, I've got control over the employees that I employ, but often I'll use subcontractors outside of my employees for peak demand periods. We'll often be using contractors without having physically seen them, but we'll know that they're qualified. We've got their insurances and scanned through and things like that. So we know that they are who they say they are, but we don't know what they look like. And we can then get a client going, that person looked unprofessional, their hair wasn't kept, and they smelt. And then you're like, oh my God, it's massage. And you're going in and putting your BO over people. You might give the world's best fucking massage, but if you smell, all of that has disappeared, right? Yep. So presentation, personal hygiene, it's just something you can do so easily.
And it sounds, I call them the 1%ers, and this is probably more than just 1%, but like it sounds such a, like, well, duh. You know, like, of course, most normal people would think breath means deodorant, but, you know, we have to have this conversation at where I teach, you know, and she's like, that we had our first clinic and one of the students was smelly. Like, there's no other nice way to put that, but she was. And so she had to tell the whole class, not who it was, but just there was this one particular person and the complaint was that, and it's like, she's kind of awkward saying it, but she goes, I have to say it. I have to say it. And I'm like, second drawer, Emily works for me. She knows. She's on the call today. It's like second drawer down. There's always 3 cans of deodorant, breath mints, chewy, whatever you need. Just, you know, you sort that, nail clippers, all that stuff just there. So yeah, it's that's cool. And I think most people who we've got on here would be onto it, but it's a really good reminder to just make sure that personal hygiene is up there. That's cool. So Rosie's question was, how do you handle it when someone says, if you're doing it like like you're talking about a short format massage where it's 5 or 10 minutes and it is just, you know, therapeutic, and someone says, oh, but I've got this sore spot, how do you guys handle that?
So we're quite deliberate that the workplace is not the place for treatment, and we won't massage anybody who's got an ongoing untreated injury. Because of that. So when you are considering treatment as opposed to relaxation and changing someone's energy and mood through massage, if you're doing treatment, I think you need to practice, you know, get the diagnostic right, make an evaluation, then just choose your treatment, deliver that treatment, check it with your client, make sure that's been, that it's had some efficacy. Now that takes longer, and basically being me, I would use the opportunity of someone going, oh, I'm a bit sore there, or I think I've got an injury here. That's your cross-sell, right? Don't try and fix it there in the workplace. That's the reason they'll get on your table. So for Christ's sake, don't fix it right there. Like that's something you can say, well, look, we can make you feel better right now, but if we're going to make that go away or address it in a more sustainable fashion at root cause, it's going to take longer, and I need to understand more about the issue before I give you a treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Jennifer's pointed out too, if it's an injury, you got to refer to a doctor, and, bring in line those professional skills that we have, that we know, what's just general soreness, bit of maintenance, bit of posture, and what's, that's, I guess it's using your common sense and the skills that you have as a therapist. So got some other cool comments here and stuff here. So now, Jennifer's just clarifying, so we contact HR and make time to see them and give a massage while we're talking to them. So just clarifying if that was the process. Do you want to just...
I don't think it is HR.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. Look, human resources is usually what they call a cost centre in a business as opposed to a profit centre. And so most businesses these days try to minimise the number of people they have in the HR department, and they really control them into things that are policy, procedure, processes, and sometimes you'll have an HR manager who's responsible for more than 100, up to 500 individuals for their compliance and processes part. So they're not the same people usually who are considering the morale of a team of 20, 80 people. The person that's usually looking after morale in a 20 or 80 person or across a company, across a company it rarely happens. Across a department, it's that mother hen figure. They could actually occupy a number of roles, but their personality or their psychology is they're the person that sort of takes responsibility and puts everybody under their wing and makes sure that everybody's having a good time. And they're probably the office gossip, but they're also the person you go to when your staplers run out of staples because they just know how to get shit done. They're the person who books us.
And look, I've got a great comment from Callie up in far north Queensland, and she said she was the HR health and safety officer in the corporate for a long time, would work with the mother hen to get the massage guys in. Yep, so need to check insurance first, quals, insurance, flexibility, professionalism, disruption overall, and deliver. And basically everything that you've just said, that's what her role was, to help this mother hen implement it. So gotta love that. And Octavia says she loves your way with words. And Kelly also says, I love it, that's fine, you're real. And Kelly says, good opportunity to reinforce ergonomics too. Yep. And so does Octavia. I love it. That's so cool. That is so cool. Yep. So Jennifer, what Andrew was saying was usually the mother hen figure is someone that you already massage. So it's somebody that you are already treating that's the best way to get into the workplace. So making sure that if you know someone that you're working with that works in any sort of department, talking to them about, do they have current massagers come in, and how you can actually go about sort of actually implementing that more from your database and your referral networks rather than having to contact the business and being completely, they don't know you from bar of soap at all. Whereas if you're massaging, particularly if you're massaging one of the mother hens, woohoo, even better, you've got that kind of connection already in the company. Is that right, Andrew?
Yeah, spot on. We've found that cold calling is really hard to do.
Yeah.
We call it GAFF, G-A-F-F,
Yeah.
give a F factor.
Okay.
And nobody has a high GAF around corporate massage because they'll only receive one massage. Most of their colleagues will receive the benefit. So it's a low GAF thing for them. The thing that matters to them is engagement, morale, camaraderie, those sorts of office bitchiness, office stress, getting rid of those sorts of things. But you can't cold call someone and say, yeah, your office sucks, right? You need to get massage, because they just aren't going to have that conversation with you cold. But everybody who you've got on the table that's in your practice, they have a job and they know their spouse has a job, or that they're your leads, and massagers sell massages.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rosie says, do the decision makers want to know about the benefits of corporate massage, like improved concentration, or is it better to promote the feel-good and the de-stressing aspects?
I think there has been lots of studies around this. The health benefits for massage in a corporate environment are not a distinguishable feature between each massage therapist. So health benefits are assumed, concentration benefits are assumed, productivity increases are assumed. You have to separate a different point of difference apart from the health. You have to show your additional value. In our case, and what I'd recommend, is we making tangible the difference in how an individual feels as they self-report it before the massage and after the massage, and then aggregating that data for the whole department and providing that to the person who booked us. We think, and we're happy to be proven wrong, that it has been one of our better sales propositions, telling them that it increases productivity. It's marginal because there's so many other things that impact their productivity. Are you really going to be able to attribute that to massage?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how would you get that data? Like, you're the massage therapist. How would you know what their productivity is before and after?
Yeah.
You can just know how they feel.
Yep, nice. So Rosie, I trust that answers your question. Em's just said, sorry, Emily. Yeah, and Rosie says, great, that's awesome. So Em's just said, Andrew, do you charge by the hour or per massage? How much per hour is it standard? How much extra would you charge for travel?
Yeah, okay. So, like everybody's got their own economics to do, but if you go to 3 Minute Angel's site, we've got a simple pricing policy. Basically, we're $88 an hour, minimum 2-hour call out for a walk-in, right? The equivalent of a corporate walk-in. But if you do more than 16 hours, or we expect you'll do more than 16 hours with us across a year, we bring that down to $70 an hour. So our range is pretty well 70 to 88, and that's how we charge. Was there a second part to that question, or is it just how much do we charge?
How much extra?
Oh, the travel.
For travel, yeah. So for those who aren't living in the middle of Sydney.
Yeah, so we do a travel time that we calculate based on public transport, freely available public transport information, so that we don't argue with the client about whether Parramatta or Ryde or one of these other suburbs that's not within the Sydney metro area or the Melbourne metro area or the Brisbane metro area. And we basically say for every 45 minutes in one direction from the CBD via public transport, we'll charge you an hour. So if we have to go 2 hours in one direction down to, say, Wollongong, we'll end up charging 2 lots of the travel hours, 4 lots of the travel hours, because they've got to get there and back. And we charge the hours for travel at $33 an hour, and we pay the staff on their travel for that, like $18.70 or something.
Yeah.
If they're using their own car, then we don't pay for parking, and we don't expect clients to have to pay for parking.
Okay.
But parking and access are really important issues if you're working with larger organisations. And if you're planning on taking a specialised massage chair or a table into that office, then parking and access becomes even more of an issue.
Yeah, definitely. Kelly's just commented to say that charging by the hour motivated us to get people there on time and have all the places filled, which it would, absolutely. And Emily said thank you. So yeah, that's really cool. So are there any more questions coming through? If you guys are done, just put ready to rock in the comments box. That'd be awesome. Otherwise, if we're not getting anything, that's absolutely fine too. If you guys are, madly typing. Yeah. Oh, look, R2R. Go Kelly. She's with the lingo. So that's awesome. Yeah, ready to rock. Love it. Anything else that you wanted to, lots of thanks and ready to rock. So that's awesome. Anything else, Andrew, that you wanted to just kind of, I guess finish up, as we finish up, is there any kind of lasting thoughts that you wanted to give these guys? What would be the one thing that you're like,
You're talking to a bit of a salesperson. I'm going to be all about self-interest here.
Go for it.
Look, I definitely think getting on Massage Pricer and Get Angels now makes sense. It costs you nothing, and it's the ability to get additional work.
Yep.
And that's what I would recommend. I'd also recommend hacking up your own in-field consent form that measures mood, and if you don't want to hack that up, you can tap into ours, but you can only tap into ours if you're with Massage Pricer and Get Angels now.
Yep.
So that's how that works.
Hey, Kelly says, Andrew, you're very entertaining. Thanks for the guest spot. See you next time.
Excellent. Thanks, Alicia, for having me.
Hey, guys. No, I really appreciate your time, Andrew. Thank you for this. We've been setting this up for ages now, and I'm really excited, and I love what Andrew shares about, because, yeah, okay, I get that he's not qualified. He's not in there doing remedial massage. He's not suggesting that he can do that, but what he is saying is that I've got a really amazing framework and a really amazing model for how to do corporate massage, and for that I say rock on, which is why, we're running some webinars and things like that together, because I think this is a lot of people say to me when they don't have enough clients that they want to get into corporate, and man, I've got strategy and structure for making their business busy awesome, but I've not done corporate massage and I haven't mastered it, and Andrew absolutely has. So thank you guys for your time today. It's been amazing having you on here. Stuart, Rosie, Octavia, Louise, Christina, Callie, Kate, Jennifer, Emmanuel, Emily, awesome stuff. Great to have you guys here. Have an amazing day. Take care and see you soon.